It's Human Rights Day today. My name is Selena Zacharias, and I'm speaking with Marcela Manubens, who is responsible for integrated social sustainability at Unilever. We'll talk about the impact of COVID-19 and what Unilever is doing to respect and advance human rights. Hey, Marcela.
Hello, Selena.
What does it mean to be responsible for integrated social sustainability at Unilever?
Social sustainability addresses fundamental rights, social impact, and connects the dots with what it has been historically a silo approach. Two examples of that. First, you cannot address deforestation without addressing people, considerations, and economic factors. Hence, our efforts to bring about a comprehensive social agenda, working with others and driving that element in the industry. And the second, in 2014, we expanded our Unilever Sustainable Living Plan ambition, addressing women's safety. We focus on tea plantations because women cannot participate fully if they fear for their own safety. This initiative for me is a passion.
What are we doing to protect people in our tea plantations and in the wider industry where we source from, most notably in India?
Around the world, we are working on a range of sustainable tea programs that aim to create better lives for tea workers, farmers, and the environment in where they live and work. Our work is focused on wages, housing, and sanitation and nutrition, and improving safety for women and girls in the tea industry as a priority. We have worked with great organizations such as Oxfam UK, IDH, the Institute of Human Rights and Business, Equiception, and we are a member of the Ethical Tea Partnership, ETP, which is a not-for-profit organization that brings together the tea industry, peer companies, and also development partners, NGOs, and governments. This really help us to make a difference at scale.
We have recently seen some headlines on the abuse and exploitation of women in palm oil plantations. What's your response to this? Are we taking any action?
The palm oil industry has historically focused on the urgent issue of deforestation and made really important progress. I would highlight three key actions from our perspective. One is enhanced awareness. The focus should be in prevention. Well, there should be no questions about what good conditions look like for women in the industry. We must engage women in the solution as we did in tea. We need to ask what is safety and what are those conditions that they see as most important for them. We need transparency and the voices of the workers. We don't need individual action, we need to work together. The government has a responsibility to protect, and by that I mean legislation to protect women and girls, and a progress to bring offenders to justice. And business has to promote better practices, working together with civil society and labor organizations. There should be no tolerance for inaction. And finally, we are expanding our Safety for Women's program to PAM globally. Working together with various expert organizations, we will promote the Safety for Women framework we developed in collaboration with UN Women. We completed that work over a year ago, and we have been rolling it out to make sure that we encourage the whole community and producers to really step in and implementing it.
Marcela, I almost want to ask you a follow-up question. Is that enough? Are we doing enough?
I think that the lessons learned from our experience in tea was that it required a comprehensive 360 action. It was certainly about making important changes, but it was also critical to address root causes. What were those root causes? Those root causes were we need more women as supervisors. We need to educate and to bring more understanding both to the police force in the region, but also to the hospitals, to the families, to the elder in the village, to engage with local NGOs who were addressing all these issues, so to help them with resources. Underlying all of that, what you need is trust, to build the trust for women to feel safe to talk and to know that at the end of their story will be remedy, will stop the pain. At the end of 1 year, we asked them, are you safer? And it was an overwhelming majority feeling that we have taken very significant steps to promote safety and to keep women safe in the areas, in the communities where we operated. And
Yeah.
we have created also an accelerator fund to really make sure that they have the resources to do it.
Such important work. So, according to the International Labour Organization, more than 1 in 6 people are out of work due to COVID, while those who remain employed have seen their work hours cut. What does this unemployment or this risk of unemployment mean for society?
Selena, really tough question.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that all of us have been impacted one way or the other. There are reasons for concerns, but there are also opportunities. I think that there is a real potential for deterioration of working conditions, including wages, benefits, social protections with direct impact in the families, the youth, and the communities. The government subsidies, when and where they were available, will not last forever. So we need to accelerate the reactivation of the economy. So that is in one side of the ledger of concerns. On the other side, I think that while the recession is here, there's a sense of urgency and renewed focus on innovation, driving local business, deleting the waste, and by that I mean be more efficient and redirect resources where they are most needed. So among the opportunities, you have e-commerce, right? Undoubtedly, is creating
Right.
new jobs and provides the opportunity to transfer talent from more traditional model to that.
This year's Human Rights Day theme is Building Back Better. Marcela, in your opinion, what is the role of government and business in doing this?
There are three aspects. Working together toward addressing the most pressing human rights issues. Point number one. Two is on the future of work. First, upholding fundamental human rights and labor rights and preserving social protections that may be negatively impacted or eroded under new models. Think about decent and living wages, hours of work or rest, social security, etc. And also, finally, and importantly, we must align academic curriculums to better prepare students for the next generation of skills required for productive employment that all business will need. Partnership between business and governments are absolutely critical. And on examples of things that we have done, perhaps the work that we did with B20 and G20 to strengthen the preventive framework for eradication of forced labor in supply chains is one example. With the UK government, who successfully we work on addressing working conditions, including modern slavery in public procurement. And at present, perhaps it's worth to note that we are working on business for inclusive growth with other business, NGOs, and labor under the sponsorship of President Macron and OECD.
For listeners who feel compelled to do something now that they've listened to this podcast and on Human Rights Day, what is your advice on how they can take action?
Everyone, look at your sphere of influence. Consider the business decisions you are making every day and how you are impacting others. One person, one action can change course and make you part of the solution. And be vigilant. When talking about human rights, people often speak in third person. It's about someone else, it's not about them. But in reality, it's about all of us. It starts with me, it starts with you, it starts with each of us.
Thank you so much, Marcela.